The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Butcher's Bible Podcast. I'm your host, Ant.
And I'm Luke.
And we're two blokes preaching the good word of the meat industry.
One episode at a time.
Nice. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Rightio, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us. Today we have Simon Taylor.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm a little bit disappointed, actually, because I wanted you to say episode.
Episode. Next. One episode at a time.
It's not one of my favourite clips.
Brilliant. I love that so much. Thank you. Simon Taylor is a listener.
Yeah, true story.
Indeed. Now, Simon, you're a legend among butchers, among people. You know, you need no introduction, but if you want to plug and promote everything, Simon Taylor.
So butcher, basically. Have been since I was 13. So coming up to 30 years in the trade, couple of shops, Team GB, accredited master butcher,
Yeah.
a few other bits and bobs, but generally I'm just a butcher, and I love it.
We'd love to hear.
It's great.
Yeah.
Smooth. It is lovely. I love it.
It is what it is, you know?
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very true.
So,
Yeah. How's things? How are the shops going? Are they
Good.
doing them smoothly?
Sun's come out, which always helps. You know, we flipped to that whole barbecue mode now, which is good. Bit easier to plan, bit easier to process. I've had a couple of managers leave, which has been difficult. Alfie, who worked with me for, I think it was 8-9 years over at Op Shop.
Great guy.
Brilliant guy, amazing butcher. He basically moved to London a couple of years back, and he'd been commuting out of London to Oxshot where we are. So it was kind of the logical move for him. He got a management role up in town, and he moved on, and he's smashing it. He's a brilliant lad, and he'll do amazing things. So a little bit short Oxshot, and then unfortunately my manager just left from Hogsback, the new one. So we're tight on staff, which has just been kind of a reoccurring theme. I don't know, like the last 5-6 years, maybe more. So we're out looking again. You know, we're after apprentices, but they're hard to find. So
It's true.
we've got to find the right person that's, you know, going to get into food and going to make it a passion like we have. And we just got to bide our time and wait till they come along, really.
yeah, patience is a virtue when it comes to the apprenticeship side, and especially the manager side as well. And, you know, I found that very difficult in my shop as well, like trying to do those. But then you get the older generation who come through, but they don't know how to break beef or lamb, really. And you're kind of like, oh, and then you got the apprentices and you get like, oh, it's all hands on, isn't it? Non-stop. So you're just, and you just got to wait for that one person, like you said, just who's passionate about food, wants to get their hands dirty and can smile at customers and be nice.
Yeah. The shop all-rounders. I mean, it was different back in the day when you literally had butcher shops were so busy, you could just put butchers out the back, servers at the front.
Yeah,
it was kind of that. In some bigger shops, you can still do that, but my shops are much more. You know, you need to be able to do everything. You need to be able to be busting a side of beef, but then you've got to go and serve Miss Smith, and you've got to turn it on.
Yeah,
it's tough, but I love teaching. Like, I love apprentices. I love sort of growing people in them. I've trained those apprentices. They're not all stuck, but there's a few more butchers out there that have been trained by us, and it's just, I don't know, I think it's the best way to do it now. Like you said, there's a lot of butchers out there, but because butchery's had that little resurgence,
yeah,
I'm gonna say it, like pretty much all the good butchers are in jobs. You know, if you're a good butcher, job.
Agreed.
I'm not.
Yeah.
You're busy out on the paddocks.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. You know, all the good butchers are in jobs. All the butcher shops are busy.
Yeah.
So you've got to mold people yourself. You've got to find people who are willing to just, you know, have the love of the graft and really try and just get down.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the hardest thing is finding someone that like enjoys, you know, getting up, having their Weetabix and getting stuck in for the day. Yeah. And it's so rare now. So rare.
Very much so. People want to do more for less, which is obviously is the art of, you know, anything. But
we'd all love to do that.
Yeah, right.
That's
but it's so much more prevalent in younger people today than I think when I was younger. And I don't know about you guys, where you grew up and trained, but there was more of a demographic of just going out and getting a job when you were younger.
Motivation was there. Motivation. When we were young. That was it.
Yeah, I mean the reason I fell into butchery, so I'd always liked food, but you know, my parents basically bred me for service. That's what I always say. You know, I was
right
bred to serve because that was my role. You know, I knew what
did they do to get you in that?
So it's kind of like, you know, I was never good at school. I'd learning support all the way through school. I really struggled in certain areas, and you know, I was kind of told that I never really had to achieve anything in kind of test wise, because it was always like, just do your best and it doesn't matter. And because I was kind of given that mind frame of that doesn't matter, but I was taught that, you know, you can go out and wash a car for £3. You know, you can go and do a paper round and you get 10p a paper. Keep your eye out, and I did see the sign in the village butchers. You know, they're looking for a Saturday boy, right? I'm in. And I always say this: it said Saturday boy. Like, you won't get that, but it said Saturday boy specifically. So yeah, there was this weird thing of like, you know, I was taught the value of money, and it's like, if you want something, you go earn it. Then the way, and again, talking about being bred for service, is that, you know, I was taught my manners. I was never disrespectful. You know, I knew who was above me in society, kind of thing, and I had to respect that. And I love that. I really do appreciate it. I think now kind of like the lines are a bit blurred. Yeah. So, you know, don't get me wrong, we totally are all equal. But when it comes to if you want to push yourself up in life, you've got to go and earn that. It's not a given. And I think that's the problem. Yes, we're equal. However, if you want something, it doesn't fall in your lap. So it's not a given society, and it looks it. That's the problem. No.
Do you still see it as a you get out what you put in sort of environment?
Yeah, 100%. And I also think on that point, you don't get it instantly.
Do you think that's because of the social media and the internet is now you see it on there?
Yeah. And it's like everything, you know, influencers and these kind of people, you can make it big without, and then there is a skill in influencing, again, not downplaying influencers, but you kind of get it for free, and it's like,
it can be overnight.
Yeah,
it can be overnight.
Real graft in it, you know. From some people who work that system, they do graft to get where they are, but not many. And yeah, it's just a bit of a free society, and I think it comes back to education, to schools, whereby trades are downplayed, trades aren't respected. You know, I do this whenever I give talks and stuff. I always do this like picture me game, play picturing in your head, and picture a butcher. So you do that to people out the trade, and they just have this, you know, fat old grumpy guy that they picture in their head, and he's cut.
I literally just had that.
Yeah, isn't it? And if you say butcher, and even the term butcher is used in a derogative way.
Right, yeah, I totally butchered that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not seen as a respected or a thing that you would want to get into. And it's the same for plumbers, bricklayers, carpenters, all that kind of thing. But, you know, what they fail to teach people is that you take any trade, any craft, and you master it, and you turn it into a business, you'll have a great life.
Yeah.
You know? And that's not really championed enough. And it's quite a nice segue, actually, because in terms of our image, in terms of how people look at us, this is why I love being involved with things like Team GB. So UK Lions and the World Butchers Challenge, that's about sticking butchery on a pedestal and giving it some glitz and glam. Don't really like this phrase, but making it sexy, making it look really cool, inspiring people, so that you get the next generation, or people out there looking for a new thing. They look at it and they go, "This is pretty cool, actually."
Yeah.
Like, how do I get into this? Tell me more about this. And even if it's just someone, just being interested in butchery, great. But if it's somebody who wants to come pick up a knife, even better.
Yeah. It's the adrenaline, it's the competitive spirit, which I think draws people in.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of. If you go watch your butcher down the street, you go, he's pretty neat at that. But if it's a whole sort of like people absolutely thrashing for 4 hours, you're enthralled.
And they're being roared on by a crowd as well from different countries, and seeing other countries really, really involved and being really like passionate about their team, like they do with football and all that as well. And it's just great. But I'm really outnumbered though, aren't I? I've got 2 lions against me. You should call me the lion tamer. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I really, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's exciting. Obviously, I don't know when this is going out, but next week, me and Luke going training.
Yeah. This will be the Friday after the 2 training sessions.
So we'll already be close to being better than the Aussies.
No, best of luck on that one. Brett Law listens to this, and Peter Bircher.
I know they do. Oh dear! I told Brett, and he was like, "Oh, game 1 bowl."
Yeah.
I felt so like just obliterated in one little sentence. I was like, "Brett Law, a mole."
Yeah.
So out in Sacramento, Barry Green, who was with the team.
Yeah.
We just got out there, but Barry had gone out a bit before, and then he was traveling to Sacramento, so he was getting to the place his home. So they kidnapped Barry.
Yeah.
And they sent me a video. It was like, "We've got one of yours. Bring us a crate of beer and we'll hand him back."
Literally holding him hostage. Amazing. So, how was in your experience? You are the captain of the elite team or
World All-Star team?
That's it, the All-Star team. Yeah, captain of the World All-Star team. What an absolute title that is.
Yeah, that was really unexpected, actually. Very cool, very, very cool. So 13 teams, each with 6 butchers out there, and I think that's something that's probably not recognised enough, is that every butcher out there of those 13 teams, like the caliber is unreal, absolutely unreal.
Each of you just bring a different level of skill, and it's like each category that you guys do is just remarkable.
Yeah, just to walk out there with that bunch of people and like being that level of skill in your craft is unreal.
Yeah. They really upped it in Sacramento with the arena as well, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
It looked awesome. It looked so good. What was it from your perspective? Like,
so I first went out there in 2019. Captain's run. This was back when it was supposed to be in 2020. Obviously, that all went wrong with COVID. But I'd competed out in Ireland, and Ireland was incredible. Ireland was this huge show, this massive competition, and even from that, like, I was just wowed. That was my first time actually competing in it, and I fell in love straight away. And I wondered what you could do to be better than that. And then I went out to this captain's run in Sacramento, and they take you into the Sacramento Kings basketball stadium.
Yeah,
you look at this space, it's just like, shit. This is another level. And like, they got like plasma screens running around the arena. Like, yeah, we're going to have all these bits here. And even then, just standing there, that was enough. But then going back when we actually got to competition, and you actually see, the World Butchers Challenge sign up everywhere, and you see these meat rails, and then you'll never experience anything like it. It's the only way to say it.
Oh,
It's so cool.
what a feeling that would have been like.
Yeah, even watching it live stream, I was in the shop watching it on YouTube or whatever
Yeah,
it was. Just like it's like 7 customers be like, yeah, right.
Coverage, I'm afraid.
No, that was it. We said this to Ben. You know, you guys were so crisp and clean that there was no drama.
Yeah.
We worked so hard on that method of work to be pristine. And I think in terms of, you know, excitement and the eyes, I think it almost went against us, you know. We should have been a bit more messy. We should have had a bit more drama going on.
Drama.
The Americans love that.
Yeah, we should have messed it up a bit. But we were also sort of your lots get drawn, so you know you never know where you're going to be. So we got drawn right in the bottom corner.
Yeah,
we were right at the end of everything, tucked away in a corner. So we weren't very visual anyway.
Right. Was there any benefit to being elsewhere?
No, I think it's probably for and against. I think we were kind of in our own little zone over there, but then I think we probably would have been in our own zone wherever we were, because when that buzzer goes and you start, that adrenaline kicks in, and 3 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, if you can name me a sport that is that full on, no breaks, no nothing, just pedal to the metal for 3 hours and 15 minutes. And it went by in a heartbeat, but it's madness, absolute madness.
It is heavy work, isn't it? Like really
super heavy. And then, you know, you've got the crowd all around you. Like I say, this stadium was phenomenal, but with that comes this cauldron of like pressure. And you can, you know, while you're working away, you can hear the French singing, you can hear the Americans, you can hear the Italians. And, you know, there was a few people that came out to Sacramento and bless them, you know, such a long way. So we had support, and we even had some support from some Americans out there, which was amazing. But, you know, we didn't have the kind of support that the other nations did. Again, butchery just probably better respected in other places.
Yeah, I would also say in Sacramento, traveling to the USA, it's quite a distance for like a fair few people as well. Like it's quite a distance, but like I think being in Paris next year, I think it's kind of central in a way. Like it's quite a central area. So there's like, depending on what kind of arena that they do have, but like I think America was probably just a bit too far for people. But all of us tuned in, thousands and thousands of views on it, and it's just remarkable. You know, I watched it and I was like, this is incredible. And, you know, it was nice to see that there were people inside those stadiums and they were cheering and singing and carrying on. It's just, it gets you fired up, and it makes you wake up, go to work tomorrow and go, that was remarkable. How am I going to do better with myself? And keep like going.
You know, Luke's going to get this. Like, so being part of this journey and, you know, the people you get to work with in the training is phenomenal, and the things you get exposed to, there's always something to learn. You know, the incredible skill set that we're going to be with is brilliant to begin with. Then you get to meet all sort of people that you probably wouldn't meet through the industry, through sponsorship and just people getting involved. That's incredible. But then you get out to competition, and then you start meeting all these other people that have gone through the same thing. And it's kind of that experience, which, sort of linking back to what you just said, you can't replicate it. Like, it's something you never forget. You will never forget this journey. And it's like, you know, I love it. I'd never, it's always hard. It's always not what you see on Instagram and videos and stuff. It's not.
Yeah, of course.
There's more to it. And there's a lot of pain. There was a lot of pain through Ireland. There was a lot of pain to get to Sacramento, but I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. It kind of actually makes it better, because you don't want it to be an easy ride, because you'd be like, cool, what was that? Yeah. And you know, diamonds are forged under pressure. You want to,
someone said this earlier. I like that.
You want, you know, I've had quite a hard career in terms of just sheer workload on myself.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change it, because it's made me the butcher I am.
Exactly.
You know, if I was in some slow, sleepy little village shop I wouldn't be, crushing bodies of like a body and a half to two bodies in a day and a bit.
Exactly. So that, yeah, I'd so get that. And I, like you say, you would never get out of that first gear, would you?
No, right, because you had no need to.
Never need to, yeah.
And you don't need to push. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to do this actually, because I've never done competitive butchery before. Ant finds it absolutely ludicrous that being on social media, I didn't speak to anyone for years. It's only been within the last year that I've actually started to chat and talk to people.
You didn't speak to him, or we just all liked your photos.
That was it. That was literally it. This is exactly what Farrell said. He was like, "This motherfucker."
Those flat lays were unreal.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
But I literally used to just post as it goes.
Pure class, constant class coming through that gram. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. But I was, and then I got talking to Ant, and he was like, "Get out there." And now I'm like, "Shit, things are actually happening. I should actually talk to people."
That's actually a life coach.
Yeah, he really is.
Like, everyone that listens to this pod, please don't take his advice too deep.
Yeah. He is Australian after all. Hey, Ant.
Yes, Luke.
Spring's coming, and our friends over at Was a Sauce Hut are having an exclusive offer for all your cooking needs. When you use code BB15, that's BB15, and get 15% off all purchases.
From gift cards to family and single pack sauces, they range from Luke's favorite apple bourbon sauce to Ant's mango, all the way through to their award-winning Kraken Fury rum-infused hot sauce. Woo! Yeah. Start stacking your shelves and get ready for summer, and most importantly, save yourself some money with the code BB15. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
So, Sacramento and Ireland, was that your first experience into the competitive butchery world?
Yeah. So I can't remember what it was. It was probably like, I don't know, 2016-ish, or maybe just before. There was a guy local to me called Damon Buckingham, and we were in the same kind of area. We was up for the same sort of awards, like local awards. And I found out that Damon was part of this UK butchery team that was going to the Gold Coast. And I was like, hang on, a group of butchers going to the Gold Coast to do butchery in a competition. I was like, what? So I started asking about that.
Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I sort of met through social Tom Wood, and I was like, look, I've heard about this competition. How do I get in? And everyone was like, look, we'll let you know when we do trials. So there was trials for the 2018 team. And that was Harrogate, I think. Harrogate. And I had to go in, I was given a shoulder report, and I had to do a display in like half an hour, which seemed a very long time for a shoulder report. But went in, did that, put my case forward, ended up making the squad for 2018 in Ireland. So that was my first, the trial bit was probably my first competitive bit because it was against others. I think I was up against Matt Everest, was in that one.
Right.
Nice.
Matt Everest had been trying for a while, and a few other, a few other big names from the industry. But yeah, made the team. Incredible team. 2018 again. I learned so much, so many amazing memories from that competition, and that was what really sparked it for me. Was when I got into that team, and they were like, right, we need something that will make us stand out. We need innovative products that have never been seen before. And that was when I started doing things like the confit chicken egg. So in 2018, I made a confit egg out of clarified butter, put chicken legs in it, put a little thyme crown on it, and made like the chicken Caesar.
Yeah.
Confit chicken leg idea that you would then turn into a Caesar. And I did the beefcake, did the split shin, the stuffed rack of lamb that you guys hate.
What? That? Was it a leak?
It was-
Is there a leak inside?
Yeah.
No, that one was the original was it was a chorizo and spinach.
There we go. We hate him.
That's yeah. I think that's all right.
You can't stand. But just to get onto that point, it's a cutlet product.
Yeah.
So it's not a full wrap roasting product. It's a cutlet product. So it's something that you grill at high intensity.
Right.
So that you actually cook that chorizo and then you serve it. So yeah, that was my first competitive competition, and I loved every minute of it. Again, like we talked about the intensity of the competition. So I don't know if you know, but basically I did that competition. It was a very long day. In Ireland, they split it into 2 sessions. Yeah. So we were in the first session. We competed, and then we sort of could watch the second session. Then it was clear down. Then you literally ran back to the hotel, got your dinner suit on, went off to the gala dinner. That went on for ages. Then it went into the awards. So you had it all done in one day.
Right.
And then after the awards, then it was, drinking with the rest of the world butchers in the evening because you had to, because it was amazing. Woke up the next morning feeling really, really groggy. Got a plane home. Got home, and I remember saying to my wife, I was like, "Is the sky like really pastel coloured to you?" And she was like, "No, it really isn't." And then anyway, I ended up spending a week in the cardiac ward.
Oh wow, yeah.
It was a suspected heart attack. It wasn't actually a heart attack. It was actually a virus.
Right.
That was how intense the competition was.
I always it's the way it was portrayed was that it was a heart attack that you had, or something along those lines.
Yes, this is a story we like to tell because it gets far more traction when you say heart attack. Basically, where I'd got so run down with the competition, the stress, the workload, everything that goes into it's a lot. Mm-hmm. So, a sort of very worn down body. Businesses were busy at the time. Had so much going on. A virus got into my body, and like a virus can land in your lungs or whatever, it hit my heart. And when I got into hospital, they like passed me this cup, and it was full of pills. I mean, it was full, and they were like, "Take these." And I looked at it, and I was like, "What? All of them?" And they went, "Mr. Taylor, you're having a heart attack. Sit on the bed, take the pills." They were basically telling me to shut up and just
medals.
But yeah, so then I got pushed into like the surgery room, like everything up on the screens and stuff, and they were about to go in, and then they pumped this solution around your heart, and as soon as they did that, like I could see it all up on the screen because I was awake. Like you see all this like green stuff going all through your body, and it ruined my heart, but that was a good thing because they were like, it's not a blocked artery, so there's nothing for us to unblock. It was my heart swollen, so that swelling had stopped the blood flow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was this virus thing. So I spent a week in there, and I've been left with a little bit of bruising on my heart. So, pills for life and all that jazz. But anyway, long story short, it wasn't a heart attack.
No, it was spending the evening drinking heavily with
exactly
loads of butchers, which is never good.
But go back to your question because I've massively waffled off there. That was my first competitive competition, and it put me in hospital. So I probably should have learnt my lesson, really.
Sucker for punishment.
We all are.
Yeah.
I mean, as butchers, you just absolutely grind. Yeah. You think this is fine.
I'm okay.
Yeah, yes.
But then after that, I did Butcher Wars up in Scotland, and I got beat by Barry Greening, who was on the team last time. Brilliant butcher, brilliant guy. Credit to him, but I still think I won. No, he was brilliant. He's such a good competitive butcher. Really, really good guy. Super creative.
Very driven.
A lot of time, Barry. Yeah, he's brilliant. He's so good at what he does. But I think he's now making whiskey actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he closed up his shop, and now he's just brewing. He's brewing that. It's brilliant.
Brewing and barbecuing.
Yeah. It looks like he's having a lot of fun when I see it on his Instagram. I'm like, hey, that looks good. You're having fun.
Yeah.
Enjoying the time.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah, and then that, then after that, it's really, I've just been consumed by the World Butchers Challenge.
It is a bit of a thing. Once you suddenly cotton onto it and what it actually is, you're like, this is a bit of me. This is, whether you've done it or not. We've been talking for a while about it, Simon. It's been a few years in the making. Me and you just chatting, and
absolutely,
yeah.
So back in, I don't know when it was. I don't know whether it was 2019 or whenever we were trying to get the team together for what would have been 2020. It was kind of the support from the industry wasn't there. Let's put it that way. There were people out there that stood by it and helped it, but it's really difficult because it's that whole chicken and egg situation. So do you get behind it and support it so that it's appreciated, or do you wait to be appreciated and then support it? And I think we really struggle in this country with that because butchery isn't up on a pedestal.
It was when COVID was around, we were number one. And like Luke and I have said that we've gone from being like in the shadows for so many years and just really pushing our bodies and just putting everything we can into these shops. And then this virus comes around and then we go from top dog for like 2 years, 3 lockdowns, everyone's screaming for us. We're their champions. And then as soon as everything lifts, we're just back down into the shadows again
and doors are closing left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Wild. Like, what is that all about, isn't it?
It is. I mean, we were getting this slight resurgence before. So, where the environmental issue was growing, we were seen as a route to being better, and that was good for us. And then COVID came along, and then it was all about disposable plastic again. And everyone's like, "Fuck the turtles." But
that's the straws.
Yeah, exactly. That will come back. That hasn't gone away. It's just been pushed to the side. So once we start to flip the switch, and I think nutrition is a massive part of it. We need to be much more conscious of nutritional foods, and again, it's the usual thing. Ultra processed, stay well away. And and I think that story will come around again because you need a story. Like, everyone thinks we just have to be good at what we do and that's enough. It's not. Like, we have to have a story. You have to tell it because otherwise people don't care.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the WBC's around now, and need to get that train moving on those tracks. It is there, but we need to. And you said it, like bringing sexy back in a way.
Yeah. You sing it, JT.
Yeah.
Do you feel that things are coming back? Like, we've got all these events and festivals and things happening. So you've just done Pub in the Park, I believe.
Yeah.
And Taste of London's coming up, and you really do showcase butchery on the fly at them. You really try and push the butchery side of it as well as the cooking with DJ Barbecue as well.
Yeah, legend.
And do you feel like there's a large engagement in that? Because we've seen on the socials that there's a lot of people there. There's a real demographic of people trying to understand it. But is butchery understood, or is it mainly just the end meat sort of cooked food that people are into?
So I think anyone out there that's done like a butchery demo, a workshop, a masterclass, whatever you want to call it, they'll get this, that when you do butchery in front of people, I mean, people will even understand it when you do it in your shop. Like, someone comes in and they need a rack of lamb, and you have to bring out whole lamb, and they're like, wow. And they're like in awe because it is this form that's happening in front of them.
And they ask if that's a pig.
Yeah.
And you know what? Years and years ago, one of my first social media things I did, I hung a lamb behind me, and I asked the question. I just need to tell people. I asked people to tell me what it was. And it's just pig, all the way.
Funny, isn't it? Yeah.
and my point was, it's like, this is how disconnected we are. And I had this, and I still have this huge problem with the disconnection that we have, because you had Fluffle on here.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Like, so good. Like, I loved your chat with her. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's just dispelling that disconnection.
Yep.
Because again, like I was just saying, like, we sell nutrition. Like, it's not dirty. It doesn't need to be behind closed doors. You don't need to be embarrassed about it. It's connective. So when we get connective, we become more respectful.
Yes.
And then that, all these sort of little, webs that go off it, which is, you're better for the environment, you're better for the local community, you're better for your family and your nutrition, and it's the all-round pluses are major. There's the saying of this is going to come back to haunt me in a minute. This you pay now with your, I can't even say it because I'm thinking about what I'm going to say in a minute. You can pay now with your health, or pay now with your wealth, or later with your health. I'm going to get that wrong, but the reason I'm doing it, I'm just going to get this out because I'm tripping over it. Going to turn it to health a little bit. Because we do work hard, and we've already said this and talked about the toll it takes on you. In that health bubble, I thought that I had pulled a muscle in my groin. So I went to see my doctor about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and my father had prostate cancer. So the doctor recommended that I have a PSA test, which is basically an early sign test for prostate cancer. Long story short, the pain in my groin was probably a small hernia or a pulled muscle. But the PSA test showed something else, which was then investigated. And it turns out that I've actually got prostate cancer, which is a bit weird to say on a Funtime podcast. But I've said it now.
It's, we're all about the honesty, and Funtime podcast or not, everyone's here for you. We understand what
Appreciate that.
what you're saying, and myself and Ant have been disclosed to this prior to, if you're concerned about our reaction to this.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're dropping it on the audience, but not on you, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is still a shock when you say it, though.
Yeah.
But no, the reason I bring it up is because we are a heavily male-dominated industry. Let's be honest, most of our industry are a lot older than us, and prostate cancer is a massive thing. And there are some things you can do. I'm not saying you have to rush to your doctor and get a PSA test, but you can go online and just, if you type in check my risk, I think it is, basically it will come up with a prostate risk checker. It literally takes you 2 minutes, and it will give you some advice on where you are, and if you need to get that looked into.
Yeah,
Definitely.
just be aware of your health and your well-being.
Totally.
Taking care of number one as well. Like,
Absolutely.
it's such a big thing. We always put the shop first, never ourselves. It's always like giving more than we have. And the butchery does take that away. But you need to realize at the end of the day, it's your health and your family.
Yes, for sure. I mean, obviously just talked about the heart issue and stuff, and that was brought on by overworking. The prostate stuff it's hereditary. It turns out it is riddled throughout my family, so obviously that's a key indicator. I'm a little bit young, maybe 42, so a little bit young to begin it. But and also I should actually point out that I'm very lucky. It's been caught very early, so it's very much curable. So everything's going to be good. Just means a bit of treatment, and I'll be sorted.
Of course, yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes. Sorry about the Debbie Downer.
No, but it's to be aware, it's to be conscious of yourself. We spend so much of our career, of our lives, dedicated to, let's say, the craft, the shop, day in, day out. Our families can suffer, and as can our bodies. And, taking time away from the shop, the butchery, to focus on yourself, taking time away to enjoy the small moments of life is, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just like
it's hugely important. So, one of the things I've always struggled with is guilt. So, particularly with like me time. So, let's say I wanted to go to the gym, or I don't know, even if I just wanted to go for a walk, listen to some music, whatever it is. What would happen for me is I would go and do that activity, but the second I start doing it, I would start feeling guilt that, I'm not with my family, or I'm not at work, or, I'm not doing something productive for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because of that guilt, I then wouldn't enjoy my own time.
Yeah.
And then it's just counterproductive because it just makes everything worse. The point is like you just said, this is a hard industry. We do give it everything, and you have to carve out that time. You should spend time with your family. You should spend time on yourself, because it's the classic thing. If you don't look after yourself, you can't look after anyone.
Yeah.
And obviously I've had these, this is very fresh for me. As I said to you boys, obviously it's at the forefront of my mind, which is why I knew I was going to bring it up. But these kind of moments in your life, it's amazing what they do for refocusing.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's changed your outlook even since the diagnosis to what is priority?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. There's, again, I'll share this because actually by the time this comes out, we will have done our training session, but there's been a lot of implications with it. So I will need treatment. That will need to happen sooner rather than later. So as much as I've been talking about how much I love the World Butchers Challenge and what it means to me to be a part of it, and I will still be a part of it, but because of this diagnosis, I will be stepping down from the squad. So I'll no longer be able to put myself forward to potentially take a part on the knife in Paris. I'll be there, and hopefully the board will allow me to do a management role and stay involved. We still need to have that conversation, but that's the plan. But things like that, it's accepting that there's other stuff going on, and for me to give the right amount of time to my family, the right amount of time to my business, I've got to make these decisions. So they're tough, but they've got to be done.
Yeah, look out for number one, as Anne said. No one's going to give this time to you. You have to take it yourself, and just look out for yourself. No, I get that. But you'll be involved. You'll be involved, whether
of course
I'm able to be with it or not.
Yeah, no, I know I've got a lot of experience to give, and again, like I said earlier, I love the educational side of it, and if I can, anybody that hasn't been at that competition before, they can lean on me, and I can help out in answering questions and so on, and I can't wait to do that.
Say no more, Simon. I will take the team to France, and I will win for us. Don't worry, I'll take the team.
He's coming home. He's coming home.
I've massively killed the mood, so we need to talk about something else.
No, what I want to know is about your Institute of Meat Master Butcher Award. Congratulations on that.
Yes.
That's
Incredible.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, so there's only, I think it's like the 73 in the world.
So
Oh,
cool.
And I think 3 of them have passed away.
Right, so you're nearly number one.
Yeah, cool. That's it. Give it time. But yeah, I'm number 68.
only 69.
I should have put my application in slightly later. That would have been much better. But yeah, no, super cool. So put my application in, and you get assessed on like everything. So you've got to know literally farm to fork the whole way through. You've got to show that you understand just every aspect of the butchery industry, including running a business and teaching others. And yeah, it was something that I'd always wanted to do. because I'd never referred to myself as a master butcher.
Other people did, I'm sure.
Yeah, but again, I've never enjoyed that comment. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, I am. You know, I've got a bit.
Hell yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so that was really nice. That was definitely something that I wanted to do to, again, you know, making it personal. I'm all about this kind of justification, this pat on the back stuff. Haven't you done well? But it means a lot because you don't get it very often in this industry.
No. Most amount of people, all the people that have been butchers in the UK, well,
Yeah, exactly.
that's like a real shining moment.
Super proud of that. Really super proud of that. And anybody can apply for that, by the way. You know, anyone can apply. You get the criteria form through. You'll get another master butcher will actually come and help the assessment process. So it helps you through it. So if there is any like holes in your knowledge, they will say, well, okay, here's someone that can help you with that.
Do you need previous credentials? Paperwork? Do you need previous credentials and paperwork to be able to apply?
No, anyone can apply. Anyone can apply.
There you go.
It's just a case. Yeah, there you go.
No, all right.
Today on the paddocks.
Today on the paddocks.
Become a master butcher.
Yeah. This is really cool.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's cool, and I don't know. It's just justification again. It's just I'm into it. You know, I'm into the industry, and that just caps it for me.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a moment where you see something online and you go, "Oh yeah, I'm proud of that person." Like, well deserved, 100%.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I've got a lot of love for that, and that meant a lot as well.
It's very cool.
What an achievement, and like that's insane. Like that whole criteria to get that as well would have been grueling.
Oh yeah, it's rigorous. Like it's not, you know, you can't just say, oh well, I once walked on a farm, so I saw a cow. Like that's,
yeah, you're like,
that's not how it works. Yeah.
This is bad.
yeah. Did that once.
Yeah, I once cut a pork chop.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. They put you through the mill, but it's good because then it feels like it means, you know, it means something.
Nice.
Incredible. All right, Simon, now we're going to move over to the guest questions. Are you ready?
Yep, hit me.
Question number 1. What's on top of your bucket list?
Well, this is a bit deep, isn't it? But reflection on this week is just a bit of resetting, a bit of family time. And I'm not one of these people that, like, you know, I don't want to go bungee jumping. I don't want to jump out of a plane. I just want to have some time in my garden, you know, chill with the family. And again, this is a bit morbid, but that whole perspective thing, like it kind of, that bucket list thing of all the things I want to do, kind of brings it back to the simpler stuff, which is all I really want.
Yeah.
And win the World Butchers Challenge.
Nice.
Yeah. Just put that one in.
Yeah. That'd be a cherry on top, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That'd be pretty good. So, Paris, we're coming for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. It's going to be so fun. Question number 2, 3 people to invite to dinner, dead or alive, and why?
Now,
this is tough. The first one is easily Ryan Reynolds.
Cool.
A massive fan. He's
a good one.
The other one I'd take kind of goes hand in hand, Will Ferrell.
Nice.
Just to get the two of them together, because I think that would be great entertainment. And the third for me, it's a close one, but I think I would go Marco Pierre White. He was
nice.
He was a big inspiration to me. Very lucky to have met him. His grandfather was a butcher, so there was some common ground in butchery, and we had a real good chat about that. And he had a lot of respect for what we do, and I think that made me like, wow, you know, Marco Pierre White respects what we do, and that was really cool. But he's the stories in that man. Yeah, like those 3 for me.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
And the fact he has no sense of humor. So Ryan Reynolds and
exactly. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
I love those. Those are great.
Yeah.
Question number 3: where do you see the future of butchery?
I would like to see a future where we are put on a pedestal, where we, really get behind things like World Butcher Challenge. We champion what we do, and we encourage people into an industry that, essentially just inspires everyone, not just people to work in it, but people to support it, and that growth overall. Excuse me. But yeah, I say it in all that this questioning, even as I try to say it, I'm stopping myself, because the faith that I have in it is difficult at this point, because it's not the strongest industry.
Yeah.
Do see more convenience. I see more education in butchers in terms of what we do with our food, how we communicate with our customers, and better storytelling. But craft butchery will never go away.
Nice. Very good.
It will get lean, but it will never die.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
I like that. And he's always going to make a comeback. He will make a comeback.
It always does. It comes around in roundabouts, doesn't it?
It's essential. Field to fork, that story's lovely.
Yeah.
But you need a butcher.
Okay.
You can't be a butcher.
I like that.
Incredible. Very, very wise. Right. Question number 4: death row meal.
Death row meal. So I'm going to start with a French onion soup.
With cheese on the bottom? Like that proper style with the cheese right at the bottom?
Cheese crusted on top.
Right.
With the proper beef stock and the onions all the way through. A proper one with some good bread. And then I keep flipping on the main. Like I'm so undecided.
Tell us both them.
Well, I mean, the thing is, so I have this saying, and it goes that there is no best cut of meat, just knowing how best to cook all meat.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow, yeah.
So therefore, it kind of depends on, seasons, mood, availability. But I think at the end of the day, it's got to be a steak and chips with a peppercorn sauce.
Classic.
On another day, I might set a smash burger. But yeah, just a good steak and like some triple cooked chips. I don't know if you know a guy called Tom Bateman.
The name, yeah.
It sounds familiar.
Tom Bateman is a chef. You've got, if anyone's listening and you don't follow him, go and follow Tom Bateman, because his recipe videos are honestly, like his videos
So now, good.
and they're also accessible. So he does like these sauces and stuff, and there's so many different dips he does for like chips or steaks or whatever. But yeah, like a triple cooked chip. I think I'm gonna have a 5.5 week dry aged. We'll probably go Angus, Côte de Blanc.
Wow, yeah.
It's about 3 inches thick, maybe 4. Just cooked to about 50 in the middle,
That's
and that's good.
stiffy.
I don't need that sauce. I'm okay.
That's all right. You can just have the 3 inches.
So I know it's late, guys.
And then pudding. I'm gonna have a cheese board.
Stunning.
Cool.
Cheese board with a ton of different condiments, lots of different chutneys, loads of different cheeses, and some good biscuits.
Incredible.
Nice.
Drink?
Love that.
Drink. So, if my words have been getting more slurred, is because I knew this question was coming. My favorite drink is a Black Russian. So this is what I would drink.
What's in a Black Russian?
So Black Russian is Coke, and then it's Kahlua. Doesn't have to be out of Star Wars.
It does. It definitely does.
Stormtrooper.
Yes, it's coffee, flavored liqueur, and vodka.
Tito's as well.
Okay.
It's
Tito's.
yes.
Wow. Love the Tito's.
Yes.
Nice.
Tito's and soda with a lime, baby. That is the shit.
Oh, mate, get Black Russian. Coke, coffee, liqueur, and a vodka.
We are coffee fans as well.
I know.
It's good.
Yeah, very much so.
Very good. Cheers.
Nice. That sounds brilliant. Cheers.
All right. Last question. Are aliens real?
Right. I don't want to go against the grain,
Yeah.
so I won't. They're not real, but we will never meet them. So the way I see it is that the vastness of the universe, of course, there's other life out there, but that other life would have to be so much more advanced than we are. And if you think of how advanced we are, and we can't do it, you'd have to be probably impossibly advanced to manage that kind of space travel.
Like godlike.
Exactly. So
you thinking that they won't waste their time with us?
they might try. They might be trying just as hard as we are, but we will never do it. The only way we would meet is if we both sent out like generational spaceships where you literally bred on the spaceships until you reach somewhere. But even then you'd run out of fuel. So
Yeah, that's true. Or even if the solar power wouldn't really work either. So
I mean, maybe there's something in that, maybe. But
yeah,
but I think of course it's out there. Of course there's other life, but we'll never meet it.
well, we've met a few,
Like that.
especially here in Dawson.
Yeah. Yeah. Not like that one. They're out there.
They are.
Never see them.
The X-Files over here.
Yeah, the truth is out there.
No, what a show.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. What a banger.
Which one of you's Mulder, which one of you's Scully?
I'll be Scully.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'll be the ginger, baby. Yeah.
Right. Simon, this has been awesome. Thank you very much for your time.
good chat.
Thank you for giving us, the sensitive subject and allowing us to
Thank you for me sharing.
giving to us some confidence.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to get out there. So I appreciate that as well.
We appreciate you and we love you.
Thanks.
And onwards to Paris 2025.
Yeah, I'll see you next week.
One shout. Yeah, see you next week.
Next week, gonna smash it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
All right,
Mate.
we're going to love you and leave you. Hope you have a good weekend. And I hope everyone else who watched and listened to this, I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. And we love you. Stay tuned for Monday's episode. We'll see you then. Bye.
Cheers, Simon. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. Luke and here. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's episode. Thank you to Simon and everything he'd done and sharing that information with us. I know it wasn't easy for him, especially him telling us prior to the episode itself. We just want to say to everyone who's out there, not just the butchery, everyone who's working in the trade, working their guts out, doing what they do, do a mental health check, take some time out for yourself, really just look after number one in a way.
Mental health is one thing, physical health is another, and both should be addressed. So check your balls, your boobs, your bum, and go and just be good to yourself. And you deserve it. You really do.
We all love you. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you on the Monday's episode. Cheers.
Thank you.
Love you.